Hey everybody, welcome to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying, the show about anything and everything because it's our show. And I'm here with the usual suspects, J. Co.
Hello everybody.
Juan Ledesma.
Penis!
Juan, you don't have to say penis every time. You can just say hello.
Penis.
Penis!
Well,
Penis.
then if that's how you want it, I'll just play your normal sound.
Hello.
And I'm Sean,
Penis.
and
Penis.
this penis, and this is our theme music. Hey everybody, welcome back to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying. This is episode 10 of season 7. That makes this our final episode of this season. I'm a little sad though, Juan. You want to know why?
Penis.
That's exactly why I'm sad. Penis, Jay, how did you know? How did you know? This episode marks the 98th episode of the series. The 98th episode. You know how close we are to you eating a...
Penis!
Juan, do you know how close we are? It's 2 episodes. I almost want to make up some numbers in between here just to watch you do it. I'm sorry you're not as excited as I am. But anyway, if you've made it this far, 98 whole episodes, then, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or YouTube at INCYCSHOW. You can email us at that same handle at INCYCSHOW@gmail.com. We're on all the socials, but what's most important is that you rate and review us on iTunes because it'll help us find more people like you. And with that said, gentlemen, how are you? What's going on?
98 episodes. That's pretty exciting, dude.
I know, that's a lot. It's a lot of episodes. Yes, it includes the review, so it's not straight episodes, but still.
98 episodes, and I feel like 6 of them are really good.
Yeah. Listen, it's about quantity and not quality with us. That's, we did this, that Spotify Rewind where it shows you, we produced 2,000 more hours of content than people in the same genre as us. So we're catching up to somebody.
Just keep cranking them up, boys.
It's the only way. We'll find our rhythm. Juan, what's going on, man? How are you? You're good? You're okay? You're alive? I'm good. I'm still alive. I'm on a couple hours of sleep. Newborn watch. You know the thing about newborns, and I know Juan knows this, and Jay has a couple of nieces and nephews, so I know he's aware. Kids don't keep a regular goddamn sleeping schedule, and I forgot about this. I have an older daughter; she's 9, but they really fucking hate to sleep during normal sleeping hours.
Oh, dude, they fight it. They fight that shit.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that I just go, one day you're going to realize that this is not a punishment, and by the time you realize it, it's going to be too fucking late. It's going to be too late. But my ability to sleep at 2 p.m. up by 1,000%. So,
Dude, what's so scary for them that they fight sleep? It's
I don't know.
They're battling Freddy Krueger or some shit.
Yeah, is he in your dreams trying to fucking take you out? If I think back when I was a kid, I just thought I was gonna miss out on something. I wanted to do stuff and I just didn't have time during the day. My day was so full of causing all other mischief that I was just gonna miss out on this sleeping time. I was tired though, but I wanted to sleep. I just didn't want to go to sleep. But anyway, yeah, man, it's been a good week thus far. Now, Juan,
right.
Sorry, what was that?
Yep.
Been all right, I guess.
It's been okay for me. It's been a good week for me. I can't complain. Now, Juan, let me ask you a question. Now, you didn't write the show notes this week, but you did mention that you wanted to talk about people being washed up. Now,
No. People making a comeback.
People making a comeback? Oh, this is awkward then. Well, this is awkward then. But before we get into that, I actually want to talk to you guys about these news stories I found online about Kanye West. You guys know that Kanye West got remarried?
I did not. Yeah, I do now.
Really? I thought it'd be big news. I guess Twitter, without him having Twitter as an outlet, can't really keep up with Kanye. I wasn't looking too hard when I found out that he got remarried to someone named Bianca Sensory?
Somebody that worked for Yeezy, right?
Yeah, which leads me to believe that. Do you think that he was cheating on Kim Kardashian with this lady? She's an architect, a designer for the Yeezy brand. You don't think so?
No, I think he's just that batshit crazy and has to move everything along at 100 miles per hour.
You mean to tell me that this girl, he just walked into the office like, "Hey, girl, we get married tomorrow." And she was just cool with that. You don't think that they had like pre-fucked already?
I'm sure that for the what is it, 3 months since the divorce, they've been. I mean, the fucker's been dating around since day one that they got separated.
Has he?
Wasn't he? Yeah, he was dating the Kim Kardashian lookalike model lady.
I'm sure he was dating around during the marriage.
Nah, I don't think so. He was like so sprung on her, man. Remember when they broke up or split up? Didn't he buy her a truck full of roses for Valentine's Day, hoping that?
I mean that doesn't mean he didn't have side pieces.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's written songs about it. Like, if I'm being honest, Juan, I feel like that they might have something going on for a while, because like, you don't just saddle it. Like, if you are someone outside of the circle of Kanye West and you see how crazy he is and all the shit that just happened, I would have never thought a million years that within the next 5 years that he was going to be getting married to anyone, right?
I did.
Really? Why?
Because he's crazy, man. I think everything moves at 100 miles per hour for him.
Yes, his actions, the things that he does is crazy. The people that typically he's associated with are always kind of like trying to back the fuck off.
Listen. If you were someone that he was interested in, and you thought, hey, even with a prenup, I could still get a cash out, you wouldn't jump in.
What? No. He's fucking crazy.
Really?
Even former President Trump was like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna need you to take this racist guy and get the fuck out of my house." Do you remember that? That happened like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it wasn't his house. It was, well, I guess it was his house.
I mean, Kanye is crazy, but he has enough sense to, know stuff like he lost $1.5 billion in one day. Like he doesn't. He makes crazy decisions, but he also makes rational decisions based on the situation.
Yeah, so I mean, I just find it fucking nuts that he's married, that he got married, and I found it even more crazy that because a part of the article that this wasn't, it's on BuzzFeed, so take it with a grain of salt. Is that they were like focused on that Kim Kardashian had posted things on Instagram and then taken them off.
3 posts.
Yeah, which was like, so out of more curiosity, I was like, well, what the fuck could she have posted about this? Because, I mean, literally right after the divorce, she was fucking Pete Davidson, who had the balls to like post a picture of like...
I don't think they were divorced just yet. They were in the process of getting divorced.
Sure, his bed wasn't even fucking cold. Kanye went out that night and didn't know he wasn't coming back home, and Pete Davidson in his bed taking selfies in the sheets that Kanye probably paid for. You think Kanye paid for those sheets, or you think that Kim paid for those sheets?
Kim.
You think so?
I think he had an interior decorator get paid.
They use the corporate card. Yeah.
Well, but anyway, and she posted, I'm in my quiet girl era. I don't have much to say, which either means that she doesn't give a fuck, but she knows that social media expects her to react, so she put something out there. But then she took it off. So I don't know if that was for the attention of like, it was there, now it's gone. So if you saw it, you saw it. Like, I don't know if it was do you guys think it was a move for her to, from a PR standpoint, to kind of like outmaneuver Kanye to get ahead of like whatever the...
It's not a PR. It's essentially saying, listen, I'm pissed and I'm not going to comment. And then her PR team went,
what the right does she have to be upset? What right does she have to be upset?
One person's trash is another person's treasure.
Do you think Pete Davidson said the same thing?
Wasn't Pete Davidson the one that broke up with her?
No, she broke up with him, remember?
No, I thought it was him that broke up with her because he wasn't into the whole family bullshit.
What?
I thought he wasn't into like wanting to settle down.
No, Kim is the one who spoke sense. You don't remember?
Yeah, I think that was her reasoning for not wanting to spend as much time with.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, man, let's stay on the plane and gallivant around the world and fuck." And she was like,
so he didn't want to settle down, and Kim wanted to. That's what I'm.
Wait.
Well, I mean, she also has kids that she has to take care of.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what she was saying. She was like, "Look, I'm a mom, and I can't really just be out there shaking my ass. I need to be home to take care of them." And I don't know.
You should have came to me during my Rage. What was it, Reggie era?
Reggie who?
Yeah,
Ray J.
Thank you.
Oh, why'd you correct me? But yeah, and then she posted 2 more things after that, and both of them were quotes, which apparently that's what her sister Chloe does, which I didn't know that either. I do not keep up with the Kardashians, but Juan, it seems like you do very much so.
No, I do not, man. I do not. It's just it pops up every so often.
That's what she said. But yeah, so I just thought it was fucking nuts. I didn't think I would see Kanye be married so soon. And I didn't think anybody would be ready to like. I really want to know who this girl is, who this like Bianca Censori is. Google her. She's a fucking architect. Well, yeah, I know that because that's what's in the. But I want to I want to sit in a room with her because what kind of person kind of goes in knowing that this person's, like the kind of person that Kanye is. What kind of person goes in kind of going, yeah, okay, you know what I mean? Like
either the same person as crazy as Kanye, or the one that sees a paycheck at the end of the tunnel. Listen, he marries them. It works out. She's settled. She's taken care of until he goes batshit crazy again. Or she waits until he violates the prenuptial agreement and she gets a little bit of a cash out.
Crazy doesn't always attract crazy. Sometimes boredom attracts crazy. She probably she probably didn't have an interesting life. And then, she met Kanye West and she's like, oh shit, Kanye West. My life got more interesting right now.
I mean, that makes more sense than like her waiting for him to fuck up, because I feel like if she's an architect and she's working for, some place that Yeezy was whatever, I feel like she was making pretty good money on her own without Kanye. Not to say that like being married to Kanye won't boost her status a little bit, but what his actions are public. So I just wonder what the hell possessed her to do it, like, and why?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, Kanye was also thinking about running for president. So if she got married, she'd be the first lady. If Kanye West were to win the presidential election, that's a possibility.
Talk about hedging your bet, dude. Talk about hedging your bet. That's like, oh, dude. Well, shit, man. Good luck congratulations to Kanye, and good luck to his new bride. And I just hope, that, well, yeah, dude, because like, I don't know Kanye personally, but from what I've seen on the outside, I don't know, man. I don't know. Speaking of more crazy stuff going on, the Golden Globes happened last week. Are you guys, did you guys watch the Golden Globes?
Nope.
No.
And I'm up in a rage because it's the most something, and nobody watched it. That's my J. Cole impersonation.
I was outraged by people not watching it.
Well, the thing is, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that people went to it. I'm just, it flooded my social feeds and with people's dresses and stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't know the fuck's going on. I thought this thing was over. But the Golden Globes didn't happen last year because of there not being a black board member. Have you guys heard of this comedian? His name is Gerard Carmichael. You guys heard of him?
Of course.
Well, Jay, you're a comedian, so I'm sure you've heard of him. Jay, Juan, before reading this article, have you heard of Gerard Carmichael?
Very much no.
Very much no. I did not know his name, but I recognized his face from some content. Like I think he had a TV show that he was on some time ago. But anyway,
it was called the Gerard Carmichael Show.
Look at that. Well, isn't my face
Boy,
red?
Sean, aren't you a fucking idiot?
Well, shit. I didn't know his name, but the reason why I'm talking about him and the Golden Globes is because he hosted the Golden Globes this year. And the article, the title of the article was like Gerard Carmichael was diversity hired. And again, it's from BuzzFeed. Now, the thing that is most interesting about this whole article is that he
wasn't diversity hire back in the day called affirmative action.
It was. It is.
So
it is.
Essentially, affirmative action is back
for the Golden Globes
just with a prettier name.
It's back for the Golden Globes, which I sent you guys a link to kind of his intro piece where he just says, "I'm here because I'm black," but there's a whole other like 4 or 5 minute monologue that comes along with it that talks about his story about him even being asked to host. So do you think that him essentially being diversity hired for this role was a good thing or a bad thing? You think the Golden Globe should have done that, or they should have let him talk about it like the way that he did?
I mean, I wish he threw some jokes in there. I mean, it wasn't really funny.
It was he was telling a story. I don't think he was. I think the story in and of itself was the comedy, but yeah,
honestly, he was telling a long story, but it's like you're hosting the Golden Globes, like who's hosted it before? Ricky Gervais, Billy Crystal, all these.
No, Billy Crystal was the Oscars.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of like talent, and they've done jokes. They've either done like roast jokes or roast type jokes. But he did this like monologue. It was almost like a one-man show for the Golden Globes audience, and a lot of people were just kind of sitting there like, what is this? Like.
And by one-man show, you mean like the artistic Broadway type one-man show, not the stand-up comedy one-man show.
Well, stand-up comedy is a monologue, with jokes sprinkled in. But like a one-man show is more of like it's like a story, like a kind of like a biography of events that happened in your life. And that's kind of what he was doing for 4 minutes. And people were just kind of like staring, and like there were like a few jokes in there, but it really wasn't funny.
Yeah, he didn't really get like people were. if you got to look at the crowd, people were kind of tolerating it because they're like, okay, fine, tell your thing. And there were some laughs in there, but nothing like, because he wasn't really telling, like Jay said, he wasn't telling jokes. He was really telling kind of the story of how he got there, leading with the very salacious title of "I'm here because I am black," and that's a very I can't think of the word now, but that's a very like incendiary thing to say, right? He's like, I'm here because I'm black in front of this stage that hasn't, you know what I mean? And so he goes on to say a couple different things, which I found to be very interesting, which I don't know if true or not. And maybe one of you guys know, which is that the Golden Globes committee didn't have any black people on it until the George Floyd event. Is that something that you guys know to be true, or something that he just said to be salacious?
I have no idea. I don't know who was on the board,
I don't know either. But they, according to him, and again, this could have just been for the story. He said that they paid him $500,000 to be there. $500,000.
They offered him $500,000 to host it. That's according to the story. Well, yeah, he hosted.
He was there. He was there, but he also said that he did it for essentially he took the role for the money, knowing that he would be there as kind of like the martyr of it. Not a martyr, but he would be there as kind of like, look, guys, we have he's our token, right? It's true. It's true because that's the only reason he's there. And the last year the Golden Globes didn't air because they were boycotted because there was no black people on the board and they didn't have any black hosts. People that have hosted before won. I think you were asking were like Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers. All these people have something in common. They're not black, and I don't know their ethnicities outside of the fact that they look very white to me. But point being is that like he got up there and told 4 minutes of how basically the Golden Globe organization is racist. They hired him so they wouldn't look racist, and they paid him money to go, hey, look, go up there and prove to them we're not racist. So do you think this helped their case? I don't know. I don't feel like this helped their case at all. If anything, it proves that they are racist and they're willing to pay to hide it.
I think this is their version of, hey, we're not racist. I have a black friend that I paid $500,000 to show you guys that we're friends.
This is where you appreciate a comedian like Chris Rock. Because Chris Rock would take a job like that, take a hosting gig, and he would do his job. He would do jokes. He would MC the ceremony and he would make it entertaining. I mean, that's his job.
Well, it's a prestigious. Well, it was at some point being the host of the Oscars and the Golden Globes. It was a prestigious fucking spot or gig. I mean, how many people wanted and dreamed about someday hosting those? I mean, big name celebrities have hosted them, and one of two things can happen. It could either make or break your reputation as a comedian or an actor, because how many people got flack for being horrible hosts, and how many people got so much recognition for being great hosts?
Well, my question is, how many people said no to it before they got to him?
Yeah,
that's a valid point. Sean?
and were they black? The article doesn't say. Right. The article is
okay. Why even ask the question, were they black? I think they went into this mindset of going, we need to hire a black individual to step away or pull away from the stigma that we are racist.
Well, I mean, just because you haven't hired a black person doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you're racist. It just means that you have some kind of bigotry attached to your who you want to host. They could have asked any number of ethnicities of folks to host. They could have asked Mindy Kaling to host. You know what I mean? And she just said no. You know, they could have asked The Rock. They could have asked I don't know, any other number of ethnicities. I asked if they were black because he made such a big deal about him being black, right? Like that's why I'm asking. And I mean, do you think the Golden Globe organization was even right to I mean, should they let him go up there and tell those jokes, right? Or should they say, hey, you go up there and you do your monologue, you tell your jokes, you win over the crowd, you do your thing, and we call it a night. We don't even talk about that because that's not what this is about.
I don't know. I mean, it was such a weird monologue to watch.
It's true. It's true. He tried. I think. I mean, and again, I don't know, Juan, if you listen to it at all, the entire monologue, but he goes. I think he tries to make it extra black by like kind of telling this story where like he talks about the blackest person, like the person necessarily representing like, you know, the black people of the community, and I feel like, you know, in and of itself, it just I don't know. It just felt like a thing. Like it was like, we need to get the Golden Globes some press. And here's how we do it, by doing the opposite of the thing we did last year, which is being super racist or being called super racist, right? We're proving that we're not by doing this. Anyway, another thing during the Golden Globes that happened, and Juan actually brought this up, and I had completely forgot about it, which was Eddie Murphy. You guys see Eddie Murphy's thing on the Golden Globes?
Yes.
No.
I forwarded it to the group. Thanks for looking at my links.
Hey, I know how it feels, man. Don't worry. But Juan, you want to take us through it a little bit?
Eddie Murphy was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award. I can't remember the name of it. And he gave a speech, and he gave like 4 tidbits of advice to be successful and survive in Hollywood. And they all had like a comedic point to it, but the last one was, and most importantly, and I'm paraphrasing, keep Will Smith's wife out of your goddamn mouth. And I'm like, finally. And I think it got a laugh, right, Sean?
It did. And I think, I guess my question,
I don't think it was an uncomfortable laugh either. It was like,
I think it kind of was. I mean, you know, because here he is at another award show, a black man on another award show, being hosted by another black guy, telling a story about how, you know, and then he goes up there on the stage, he accepts his Lifetime Achievement Award. He brings up kind of what some black people in the black community would consider a stain on the reputation of a black icon, right? Will Smith was the clean black guy. He was the guy that wasn't a gang member. He wasn't out there representing some thug hood person, right? And here's Eddie Murphy, you know, making a joke about it. So I guess my question is, do you guys think that was in poor taste, whether people laughed or not?
Of course not. It's a joke. It's a joke about something that happened in pop culture. That, I mean, people have been commenting on it for the last almost a year now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Do you think that Eddie Murphy was in the right to make a joke like that? Do you think that that he should have minded his business on it and let Chris Rock make a public statement about it before he commented on it?
It's Eddie Murphy. Chris Rock probably idolizes Eddie Murphy. The fact that he commented on the situation that Chris Rock was involved in, Chris Rock was probably elated. You know, like he was delighted that, you know.
Really? That's I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like it was something that I feel like Eddie Murphy did it. And I mean, I feel like Eddie Murphy hasn't done anything of note lately. And maybe I'm just missing it. But like, I don't feel like he's done anything. So
Coming to America, wasn't that in 2022?
It was during the pandemic, I think. Coming to America.
That's what I said.
Coming to America Part 2. Anyway, yeah, Yeah, but I don't feel like he's done anything and even that wasn't regarded very. I mean, it was people liked it, but it wasn't like the phenomenon that Coming to America was. But anyway, my point being is that like, do you think this was something that he did to basically get some gas in his engine for whatever thing he has coming up next?
Hell no.
No, you think it's just Eddie Murphy being Eddie Murphy, and he's like, we're lucky he didn't say something worse.
Eddie Murphy doesn't need to do some publicity stunt or do something outrageous to get people to watch his movies. People watch his movies and watch him because he's Eddie Murphy. Like.
It's funny because the only reason I even clicked on your link, Juan, is because it had Eddie Murphy in it. If I'm being 100% honest with you. That's I was like, oh,
he is Eddie Murphy.
I was like, oh, what did he say today? And it turns out that he was talking shit, not talking shit, but he was talking to talking about Will Smith and the whole slap incident, which again drives me crazy only because like I feel like there's lots of people and I haven't heard anything about this because I haven't looked too far into it, but I feel like there's a whole subsection of the internet who's very upset about him even bringing it up, because they thought the world had forgotten about it. And again, Jay, you said it multiple times that cancel doesn't mean forever, because Will Smith has stuff crop up again. So do you guys think that him bringing this up and reminding people, oh yeah, Will Smith did that, do you think it's going to impact any of his projects he had coming over the horizons, or he's good now?
Hell no. Of course not.
I think that people don't care because I think people feel like enough time has passed that they can talk about it and make fun of it or make it a somewhat of a topic. I mean, I also forwarded you the link where fucking Darman did one of his motivation. Yeah, the motivational fucking video making dude. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, he does these like weird sketches or skits or like scenes with
the message at the
they all have like more moral lessons.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be mean to the geek, because one day he'll run a company and then you'll get it or whatever.
Or don't be mean to the geek because later on you're gonna be hard in life and he's gonna be your boss and he's gonna remember you, and instead of being a jackass to you, he's gonna show you kindness, and then you're gonna realize you were fucked up for being mean to the geek.
Yeah.
So
these are all so many isolated incidents that,
Yeah.
All right.
But even that dipshit made a Will Smith parody video already. I got tired of it, so I didn't finish it. So I don't know what the moral lesson was on that one. But
well, good to know that it captivated you. Good to know. So enough about the Golden Globes. Now, I know that Juan's a fan of Boy Meets World, but Jay, did you? I mean, you didn't get the theme song when it came up on the Gauntlet, but
I didn't really watch Boy Meets World.
Well, the last article, the last news story I found was from one of the cast members there. His name is Will Friedle. You might know him if you don't know from Boy Meets World. You'll know him as Ron, the voice of Ron Stoppable from Kim Possible, or if you're a DC fan, then you know him as the voice of Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond, which I think gained him a lot of.
And Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, he's the voice of Bumblebee now.
Bumblebee.
On
what?
On what Transformers show or movie?
Yeah.
It's cartoon show.
Which one? There's so many.
I don't know, man. I fucking don't know. But he's the voice of fucking Bumblebee. He's the first person to voice fucking Bumblebee ever because
Bumblebee's never had a voice. Is that why?
Yeah, he was
He had a voice in the 80s.
Since then, fuck you, dude. He's the voice of Bumblebee.
Why are you mad at me?
I know. I'm just mad in general. But yeah, he's the voice of Bumblebee. He's also in fucking a couple of the DC ones, not just Batman Forever or Batman Beyond. He's also, I think, in the new Batman series. Yeah, he's fucking everywhere.
Yeah, He after Boy Meets World, he got really big into. He made a return back to acting, doing voice acting, because he suffered some anxiety attack that really triggered some back social anxiety, and voice acting was a way that he was able to maintain his lifestyle, so to speak, or whatever. Of course, as all celebrities do nowadays, they have a podcast, and he's been on multiple podcasts, but now he's on the the Pod Meets World podcast, which is the Boy Meets World rewatch podcast that stars Danielle Fishel, who was Topanga, Ryder Strong, who was Sean Hunter, and Will Friedle, who was Eric Matthews, the older brother. And
Or Place with Squirrels.
yes, Plays with Squirrels. For deep lore fans of the show.
Thank you.
But anyway, the reason why I bring him up is because he actually went on one of the episodes of the podcast, spoke about how he was uncomfortable being directed to look more sexual. Now, if you remember Eric Matthews, I mean, he was basically Pepe Le Pew on that show. You know what I mean? Like, if Eric saw a pretty girl, he was trying to fuck her, basically, right? So, do you think that this is like, do you think that this even warrants a headline because of the woke culture we live in? Or do you think that, like, and I'm not trying to minimize his experience because I have no clue kind of what was going on from the producers there, but do you think that, like, this is just woke culture coming from Will Friedle saying, hey, we were being told to look more sexual on this show in the 90s where I was a teenage boy, like, in heat, basically?
Well, I mean, he's an adult now, looking back on the stuff that they made him do as a teenager. So I'm sure he has a different view of what's acceptable. You know, like when he was like 17 or 18 when he was doing the show, I don't think he minded much. I mean, he probably felt uncomfortable. But it's something that he didn't voice because he felt that he couldn't, or he didn't have the confidence or to voice it.
I think they all thought they couldn't because in their podcast, they're being very open about some of the stuff they dealt with while filming. And by today's standards, it was like, no, you don't do it. The showrunner and creator was somewhat of a dick to them and not like trying to make their life miserable. But he just, I think, what's her name? Topanga
Danielle Fishel.
Mentioned about the fact of that the showrunner told her, hey, you either fucking do it this way or you're not part of the show anymore. And I think that was the type of environment everybody, not just her or Will or Ryder Strong, were accustomed to, but it's the type of environment that they were afraid of. I think at some point they were even afraid of like doing their hairstyle a different way or cutting their hair or dressing a certain way because they had an image to uphold and they had to ask for permission for it. So I'm not surprised if he was told, hey, try to look sexy, because Eric and along with like Sean Hunter, they turned into like these teenage heartthrobs. Same thing with Topanga. So I'm not surprised that was asked of them. And I'm not surprised that at that point they didn't think it was uncomfortable. And as people have matured, they realize, shit, what they asked me to do wasn't right.
I mean, how much of that, you know, they're saying is to get people to listen to the podcast, you know?
Yeah, that's also that.
But the thing is, how many listeners do they really have? I think when,
because everyone who's ever watched Boy Meets World is listening.
But that's the thing. A lot of people, like, I started listening to it, and I'm not like a diehard podcast listener of theirs, but I do listen to it when I've caught up to my other podcast. And the first time they spoke ill of the show, I was like, oh, why are they talking like that? Like they made it seem, and I'm not taking it away, like it was a horrible experience, but every single of them went back for Girl Meets World. And the showrunner was still the same.
A paycheck, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's about money. Plus, you know, I don't know, like back in the 90s, early to mid 90s, it was a different time, you know, for everyone. You know, child actors, you know, a lot of the kids that grew up being on television, they weren't well adjusted, you know. They weren't.
These guys came out a lot more well-adjusted than some of the other child stars.
I mean, that we know of. Maybe they're just better about keeping their shit under wraps. You know what I mean? Like, I know that some of these celebrities, if you ever listen to Vlad TV on YouTube, like when he releases some of these celebrities, they have like NDAs you sign whenever you go to their house. They take your phones, they do all this stuff so that whatever happens in that party, whatever, it stays there. And again, like to Juan's point, I don't listen to their podcasts regularly. I'll listen in on episodes that I'm interested in. But to Jay's point, in the early 90s, the article makes a point to say like Sean Hunter was kissing a new girl every fucking week, and it's true. It's true. I mean, if you watch the show, then you know that Sean made himself out to be some sort of Lothario, right? He was haphazardly falling into these like girls like 1 week to the next. I think he even had like a 2-week rule at some point, and so when we look at these things in hindsight, yeah, it's horrible that like this kid at the middle school age, high school age is like already a womanizer. But the thing is that like, I think he was just being 14 and like, trying to get his dick wet, as Jay would say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that his behavior was that like so far off from like a 14-year-old boy's behavior. You know what I mean? He was like, well, shit, if I can kiss all these chicks and like they're all cool with it, then like then what's the big fucking deal? I think now,
yeah, they're like, oh, they're paying me to do this.
yeah. He's like, guys. I mean, now he's like, oh my god, I can't believe they made me do that because like that's horrible. But like then Ryder Strong in 1994, not 97, whatever year this. I don't think he's thinking that. I think he's looking at it like you said, Jay, through the eye of adulthood. He's like, oh fuck, man, I can't believe they made me do all that. But it is what it is, and
not just adulthood, but fatherhood. Because out of all three, Daniel has kids, but out of all three, he's doing the rewatch with his son. Mm-hmm. So not only is he getting his perspective of oh yeah, I remember these lines, I remember this scene, he's getting the perspective of him reliving it, but then he's also getting the perspective of watching the show fresh from his kid's eyes. And that's the other thing that I loved about the podcast is Indy, I think that's the name of his son, was like, yeah, you were like a jerk in that episode, or you were mean. And he never realized that's how his character portrayed in certain scenes. So I like that.
Oh, cool. No, I guess I thought there was a point. I thought you were making a point.
I did, and I trailed off and forgot it.
So the last thing I will say about this is that, I feel like these showrunners and even the kids themselves, when you think about, oh, we can't even change our hair, it's like, yeah, because you signed up to be these kids. These kids look a certain way. They're, it's, if you think about cartoon characters who wear the same fucking thing every week. Well, yeah, Sean Hunter's hair is a thing every week that needs to look a certain way.
Are you really comparing fucking human beings to cartoon characters?
I am, because like your favorite shows, your favorite characters have their signature dress. They dress a certain way, they look a certain way, and it's always a big deal when they change their hair, when they change their wardrobe, when they go through something. If you don't believe me, look at Steve Urkel and Stefan. Same actor, different dress, different mannerisms. You know what I mean? Look at
Felicity.
Look at Felicity. When she cut her hair, let me just tell you, Juan, I don't know, do you ever watch Felicity, Juan? It was a listen.
Bits and pieces, but I remember it was a big deal when she cut her locks.
It was a big fucking deal. When someone cut their hair, someone else cut their hair. I can't remember what it was, but sister Roger, he changed his hair. Remember that? And the twins are all over him. My point being, Juan, is that the image of these characters in these TV shows are akin to like cartoon characters that never change, right? Bart and Lisa. If Bart showed up with a blue shirt, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with Bart, right? He must be an evil twin. So I think these show producers understood that in a way that these kids can't understand it, but understand now. But look at the way they maintained it as cruel. And so,
the characters become an IP at that point,
Yeah. So, your likeness happens to, to look like this. And I can't say they didn't profit off of it, you know what I mean? And not to say that, not to minimize their sufferings, but I just mean, come on. I mean, I feel bad, but
come on.
Sorry, not sorry, I guess. That's the way, that's how it would go. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, I'm still going to watch Boy Meets World. I love that show. It's great. Great.
I love it too.
I mean,
Can't wait until my kids are old enough to sit through it.
I mean, how old? Anyway, but yeah. So then, my
9-year-old, she kind of is in and out of it. I tried having her watch it, and yeah,
it's not going to work, man. It doesn't look as crisp as all the new stuff.
it's not relatable. It's not relatable to kids today.
You don't think so?
Because
this doesn't take us on a
none
tangent.
of those kids have a cell phone.
You know what? Yeah, that's also true. They don't have cell phones. They don't have social media. The closest thing we have to that is one of the episodes where they think that Corey and Topanga slept together only because they showed up. They left that night. They were there and they came back
wearing the same clothes.
And they were still there wearing the same clothes. And like, yeah. So I agree. I think there are some subject matters I think are relatable, but I don't think the way they get there, the vehicle is the same.
Honestly, Juan, by the time your kids are old enough to watch Boy Meets World, nothing on that show will be relatable to those kids.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think there's any TV networks out there with the balls to do something as real at the time as like Boy Meets World was, and even that was like it was exaggerated, but it was closer to real than I think most Disney shows get.
Yeah, I mean, you go back and watch an old episode of like Saved by the Bell, and you're like, oh god,
dude,
it's almost cringy.
Dude, Zach Morris, let me just he was prostituting people
there's a it's on College Humor. It's a segment where Zach Morris is trash, and then they just go through the whole episode of where he's just being a total asshole.
Yes. It is great. It's absolutely great. Oh man, before we get further on this tangent, so Juan, we talked earlier in the show, top of the show, we mentioned celebrities making a comeback. I thought you meant washed up celebrities who are making a comeback. But I found this list of people, but you had mentioned Data. Who the fuck is Data? What are you talking about?
Yeah, say the actor's name.
I never knew his name to begin with.
Well, who the fuck is Data?
Goonies, Short Round.
Yeah, say his name. What's the actor's name?
I can't remember. I don't know his real name. Dude, until I was like in my late 20s, that's when I started learning actors' names. But growing up, I only knew them as Han Solo or Indiana Jones. So
you didn't know who Harrison Ford was?
It's Han Solo. Han Solo.
When you watched Air Force One, you went, "That's Han Solo,
dude." Han Solo's the president now?
I've never seen Air Force One.
Oh, dude, it's been some time, but it's
but
I'll give you the premise. It's Han Solo, and he's president of the United States, and he's on an airplane that gets hijacked by terrorists.
I'm being serious, but the guy that played Short Round, he was from when I was a kid, and then he disappeared. I wasn't at a point in my life where I actually liked actors for their skills, but because they were in something I liked them. I mean, Neil Patrick Harris, how many times do people only knew him as Doogie Howser or as the guy that played Doogie Howser? In fact, if you were to ask MPH now, how many times is he walking the street? Well, now he's known as Neil Patrick Harris more, but
no, he's probably known as Barney now from How I Met Your Mother.
Listen, but how many people do you think saw him and went, Doogie, it's Doogie, and he would put up with that shit?
I'm sure tons of people.
There's an age demographic of those people that are calling him Doogie Howser.
Yeah. I think this room and maybe our listeners are calling him Doogie. I don't think that this Gen Z crowd. He's Barney. He's Barney.
No.
But Juan,
fun fact: did you know that he got the role of Barney because of his portrayal of himself in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle?
I did not know that because I did not watch How I Met Your Mother.
What?
Yeah,
me neither.
Oh, you guys are.
You want to know what I watched? I watched Friends.
I saw Friends,
the Superior Show.
But really, yeah. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
I mean, Friends, when Friends went off the air, they were looking for a Friends type show, and then How I Met Your Mother came along,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh,
How many years after that? Oh, come on. Don't fucking.
But
well, that was successful." They tried all these other shows that were Friends like, but the only one that really stuck was like How I Met Your Mother.
It's true. It's true. The last thing I will say, Juan, before we get too far on a tangent, is that his name, and I'm gonna butcher this because that's what I do best. His name is Kihoy Kwan. Kihoy Kwan. Am I getting that close?
I guess Kwan.
Ki Kwan. Yeah.
Just say Data.
No, that's rude because that's not his name. That's not his name.
Short Round. Don't call him Short Round.
Yeah. I feel like if they remade
Dr.
that
Jones!
movie, if they remade that movie, he would not be called Short Round. But Juan, the reason why this guy Ki Kwan disappeared is because there weren't any roles for Asian actors, and he resurfaces in the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once because the cast is the cast is primarily Asian. I'm surprised he's probably gonna be in Shang-Chi 2. Watch, you know what I mean? Like,
No, and is it Variety or one of those fucking entertainment magazines does the actors roundtable?
Mhm.
And he was part of it. And he mentions about the fact that there wasn't that many Asian roles. And then along came Crazy Rich Asians. And that's when he realized, oh, maybe Hollywood does want me. And now he came back and actually won an award.
well, yeah, I mean, the guy wasn't bad. He just disappeared. You know what I mean? And again, he disappeared because he was like, he's trying to find his place, and it's hard. It's hard in Hollywood when you're not white, to find your place, or the movies aren't specifically cast for whatever. So, but anyway, in addition to this list, your list is not just Data or Ki Kwan, but you also mentioned Brendan Fraser, who I think, I feel like wasn't really washed up. He kind of like disappeared and then he reappeared.
Well, that's the same thing with Data then. That's the same thing with okay, I'm back recording.
Brendan Fraser. So Juan, you mentioned that Brendan Fraser is the same, but I think their disappearance is two different things. I think that Brendan Fraser was kind of blackballed from Hollywood.
He was not blackballed. He was no. He kind of fizzled out and lost support too. First off, he brought up the whole. I don't know if he was molested or. I think he said the word molested during the Me Too movement, and people kind of like poo-pooed that. But then he also kind of, because he went hard on his stunts in the movies because he thought this is the shit I have to do to be funny. This is the shit I have to do to be an action hero. He fucked up his back and shit like that, and was in a lot of pain and medicine for a long time, and he didn't have the same looks and anything, and people just kind of forgot about him. But he's a decent actor.
Go ahead, Jay.
I also think he kind of aged out of the roles that he was getting at the time. Like Brendan Fraser, he should have been playing older characters, but I don't think at the time he was looked at as that type of person. People saw him as like Encino Man, the Mummy movies, George of the Jungle. Like no one saw him like a stay-at-home dad or like someone who's dealing with a drug addiction type of thing. That it was Brendan Fraser. You don't see him you only see him in a certain way, and then the more that he was out of the spotlight, it's harder for him to kind of like fit into a certain role because they don't know where he fits in anymore.
Yeah, and he wasn't doing like great movies. I mean, he did Blast from the Past, which was fun, but it wasn't like this jewel. He did Monkey Bones, and he did what's that movie with Elizabeth Hurley?
Bedazzled.
Yeah, Bedazzled. You know what I mean? So like, I think to Jay's point, I think he was aging out of like this role where he could be like this young action hero, or this young like sympathetic love interest. Because I think there was a time where like he was like the Hollywood it man, where people just fucking loved Brendan Fraser. And I do think personally, I think he went through a period of time where even with all that stuff going on, drinking, drug addiction, whatever, that he was kind of like blacklisted from Hollywood for a while. And then when he finally reappeared, he just didn't look like a star. You know what I mean? He didn't look like a star.
He didn't look like the star they remembered him as.
But I will say, though, the whole point is that, you know, over the course of the last couple of years, I think he's been making a tremendous comeback. I think the way the Me Too movement has turned, I think like it just kind of all had like, hey, yeah, we're sorry about not believing you, bro, but here, let me give you a helping hand where we can. He's been doing this show called Doom Patrol. Not know if you guys have seen it or watched
the DC one on HBO Max, right?
It's where he's been great. He's been great on there. He's most recently had a lot of success doing that movie called The Whale. I think it's critically acclaimed and
it's really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but you know, it's really good.
Sean, I saw it. It's really good. I was crying.
Oh,
I was crying at this movie. Yeah, he's really good.
But so I mean, I feel like in the next couple of years, we'll start to see him take on, I want to say, probably more roles like that, because I don't think, I mean, this movie's called The Well, where he plays like a really big dude, like a morbidly obese guy, right, Jay?
Yeah.
And I think we'll start to see him take more character roles like that, where he can kind of show off his acting ability. And I feel like, you know, we'll see him more. And without looking at his IMDb page to see what he has going on, I feel like we'll be in a good spot to see some more Brendan Fraser, a couple movies a year. Maybe one or two every couple of years. Who knows?
You know who else is kind of making a comeback? Jennifer Coolidge.
She is.
Oh, yeah.
She is.
Jennifer Coolidge, you know, I remember her being Stifler's mom in the American Pie movies. And then
Legally Blonde.
You see her in like these little roles. But if you watch the White Lotus, she's fantastic on this. And I think she won a Golden Globe for...
Yeah, I can't. I think you're right. I can't remember what for. Maybe supporting actress or something like that. But yeah, she is making a comeback, and I think I started hearing whispers of her name, and I can't remember exactly how it had come up, but like it was like, oh yeah, there it is. It was on TikTok. Ironically enough, it was like, yeah, man, Jennifer Coolidge fucked all these people because she was Stifler's mom, you know, and I guess she was telling Ariana Grande about it, and like it just became a thing that took off on the internet. So
yeah, she ended up on her music video.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, there it is. And then she's in the show White Lotus now, and I feel like again she's like someone who she was Stifler's mom for a very long time, and now she's like Jennifer Coolidge, like late in life actress. Who I feel like
you know who else is on the White Lotus alongside Jennifer Coolidge?
Who else is there?
The actor who played Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite.
You know, man, it's I feel like 2023 or the future kind of holds like all these familiar faces that you haven't seen in a very long time. You wonder what they're doing, and they end up being on these like shows. I haven't seen White Lotus yet. My wife started watching it without me, and she's like, "Oh, you want to watch it now?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, if you already started watching it, I'll just find time to watch it on my own." But I think we're gonna.
Sean, it's so good.
I think we're gonna try.
It's really good.
We're finishing Interview with a Vampire right now, so.
There's 6 episodes on the first season, 7 on the second season, and both seasons are. I can't decide which one I like more. I think of the first season, but I like both seasons equally. Well, I like both seasons a lot
for different reasons.
Yeah.
The other person I put on this list was Tiffany Haddish, because I feel like
Who is she?
Are you serious?
Who is
Are
she?
you for real? Are you serious right now?
No. But Jay wants to know who she is.
Oh, she was in that movie Night School with Kevin Hart. She was in that movie Girls Night Out or something?
Girls Trip or something like that.
Girls Trip, yeah.
Don't know who she is.
Tiffany Haddish is an African-American actress who has been making a name for herself over the last couple years, kind of being in those outlandish like girl comedies. She's like the loud friend, the outspoken friend, you know, the crazy friend, and all these things. And she was in the movie, the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, the Nicolas Cage movie. She was in that movie too as a cop.
Yeah.
But she's been making a name for herself for some time, and but I didn't realize that she was recently canceled because her and Aries Spears got into some weird like pedophilia ring type thing where Yeah.
What?
It's so fucking bizarre. So I put her on the list because Juan, I'm sorry you don't know who she is because that makes you racist, I think, a little bit. But
I know who Ari Spears is.
Who is Ari Spears?
Mad TV.
Yeah, he was the black guy who did a lot of impressions on.
Yeah, it's true.
So fuck you.
Oh, thanks, Juan. But anyway, so she and Ari Spears like knew some family who they were babysitting for, and they were doing skits with these kids, and somehow the parents had gotten it misconstrued that they were making skits to like sell their kids to people, like for pedophilia reasons, and they sued them, and because of those allegations, like Tiffany Haddish like kind of lost all this stuff. So
I'm sorry. They were making skits as in haha funny skits, and the parents thought that they were making skits to be sold.
Yeah, because because one of the skits kind of it showed the kids going to this guy's house who was Ari Spears and like being like offering money for them. Like something the article doesn't go into a lot of detail about it, but my point being is that like she
and a court of law found her guilty.
No, they didn't. The charges were dropped, but the charges in and of themselves, the fact that it was even spoken, it was even said, it took away whatever she had going on.
So let's back up. I'm sorry. People can't see past the fact that it was a misunderstanding and canceled her for it, or kind of canceled her.
Juan, do you not remember Amber Heard and Johnny Depp? She wrote an article that did not say Johnny Depp's name at all, but implicated him as a wife beater, a raging alcoholic, and a drug addict, which he is two out of those three things. but it didn't have his name in it, and just those allegations alone, he got fired. They took him out of Pirates of the Caribbean. Disney separated from him, and you know what I mean. So like, and that was before they had gone to court. Right? So for you to say the allegations were like enough, I feel like you're being you're not giving the gravity to what people say as much as you should. At least but whatever. But Tiffany Haddish was on this list, and I just found that very bizarre because first of all, I mean, like not like Tiffany Haddish was like this huge star. I feel like she was up and coming as a comedian, a celebrity, but it's just like it was just a weird thing. And for her to be connected with Ari Spears was even stranger because I didn't know that the two traveled in the same circle. But whatever. Another person who I found on this list, who I found to be very, very funny, who I think like was just he's a one hit wonder, was Jack Gleason. You guys know who Jack Gleason is?
Joffrey.
Yeah, Joffrey. That's exactly.
Yeah, I actually knew his name.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Because he reminds me of the comedian.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, by name only.
Sure.
Who also?
It says he's gonna make a comeback in 2023. He did a couple movies in 2020, and he has two more movies that should have come out in 2022, which I have not seen. I don't think he's washed up. I don't think that he's making a comeback. I just think he did a really good job on Game of Thrones, and then like that was it. That was his swan song. He's gonna live off that for the rest of his life. You guys ever see Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Yes.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
You guys remember Baby Brent?
Yeah.
That's Joffrey. That's Jack Gleason. He's just gonna be living off Joffrey fame for the rest of his life. But
Jay,
anyway.
correct me if I'm wrong. There was
yes.
There was a comedic actor, Jackie Gleason, right?
Jackie Gleason, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
He played Ralph.
Yeah,
man.
One of these days. Okay, so that's why I know
he sensationalized wife
beating. Yeah, that's why I remember.
He told
Joffrey.
his wife. He told his wife that he was going to hit her so hard that she was going to end up on the moon. That was a written joke back in the 50s where it's like, just let old Jackie say it. He'll sell it.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. But yeah, so but before we get into to Piz and Jizz with you and with you and Peter, I got one more person I want to talk to you guys about. Well, two more really. There's Hayden Christensen and Lindsay Lohan. Now, Hayden Christensen, I think you guys know from
Darth Vader, motherfucker.
yeah.
He actually played Anakin.
He transitioned into Darth Vader, okay? And
Yeah,
he
but how
is
does he
currently
identify?
playing
But how
Darth
does he
Vader,
identify?
motherfucker. Is
But
he
how
not
does he
currently
identify?
playing Darth Vader?
But how does he
Is he
identify?
not currently not playing Darth Vader, motherfucker?
You said he transitioned.
I think James Earl Jones plays more Darth
That's
Vader
true.
than Hayden Christensen.
He's just the face. He identifies as Anakin, though. They have him on this list as people who are making a comeback, and I think he's only making a comeback because he's going to be, I think, in The Mandalorian, which I think just had a new trailer drop. Have you guys seen it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either, so no spoilers. But he did do a stint. He did do a stint on
Kenobi.
on Obi-Wan Kenobi show where
it's Kenobi.
Is it Kenobi? Are you sure?
I'm going to double check it.
Okay, then. But I mean, he had kind of disappeared from acting for some time, and again, I think he kind of had the same deal going on where he kind of made some shitty movies in between. I personally love Jumper, not his best work, or Awake, or some other stuff he might have done in between then. But I think Star Wars is kind of his bread and butter, and here's a guy that's coming back to do it next year. He's going to be in the Ahsoka project coming up, so we'll see him again.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, he has to be. That's she.
He doesn't have to be.
No, she does.
Well, I mean, he's probably going to pop up like he did in Kenobi. Sporadically.
Yeah,
sprinkled in.
Yeah, and they can do a lot of stuff with CGI, man. A lot of stuff. But anyway,
fuck you.
But the last one I want to talk about is, unless you guys have one, was Lindsay Lohan, who
Freaky Friday 2 just it's in the works.
But I genuinely think that she is someone who is going to make a resurgence in her career to take on not come back to her original stardom and fame, her Mean Girls fame, but I think it's someone who almost will have a Robert Downey Jr.-esque like type rise, assuming that she kind of nails some of these roles. Yeah, she stays clean. Well, because before Iron Man, like Hollywood had kind of given up on Robert Downey Jr. And Lindsay Lohan, I think she has gone through the ringer. She's been through a lot of different things. And I think she knows that. She kind of is square with that. And so she is kind of just trying to get back on the scene and reintroduce the world to kind of who she is now. I'm kind of curious what she'll end up doing, because I think she has some Netflix stuff coming up.
Freaky. Yeah, she does have Netflix stuff coming up really soon. But yesterday, funny enough, before you put her on the list, there was an article that Disney's in talks for Freaky Friday 2 with Lohan and Curtis coming back.
And who?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like, she's kind of like, I feel like of all the actors we kind of talked about, I feel like Lindsay Lohan, and maybe because I feel like I kind of grew up along with her and kind of like, oh man, she like
you were in the party scene.
I was like, oh shit, man, that girl's getting fucked up over there. I don't think she should be doing that. And then so I feel like she has made peace with that part of her life, and now is kind of like trying to really just live her life. And
was she the one, or was it Paris Hilton, the one that the paparazzi went all crazy because she was getting out of a car and her was showing?
That was Britney Spears.
Yeah,
no,
Spears.
That was not Britney Spears.
No, it was.
No.
Yeah, it was. I think. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone had a picture of her vagina somewhere on the internet. But I mean, but she's one of the people who I know majorly spun out. I think she was made another headline because I think she had asked Charlie Sheen for a bunch of money. Because I think they were both doing Blow or some shit together. So for her to kind of even be on the list as someone to be talked about after kind of having this horrific kind of downturn and spin out, I'm interested to see where this goes. And Britney Spears is on this list too, because apparently she's making a comeback, but I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough. All right, Juan, are you ready to let Peter piss you off?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I mean, it's the last time because this is our season finale, right?
Yeah, it's the last time we'll piss you off this season.
Go in hard, Peter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Juan.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
It is time.
It's time.
It's time for a moment with Piz and Jizz, or does not compute.
No. Okay, no, it just does not compute because everybody butts in. So fuck off. See, I'm already mad.
would like
I say
you
we
to-
move on.
Well, again, Juan, through the magic of editing, I'm going to play you in. And Peter can piss you off again this week.
Awesome.
Magic of editing. You're just gonna leave it in.
And now it's time for It Does Not Compute with Juan Intelligence and Peter Intelligence. Piz and Jizz. Bzz.
Peter, welcome back. How are you, man?
Doing good. Another week of Piz and Jizz. I think,
Does not compute.
Oh, I'm
Does
sorry.
not. Everybody butts in, Peter. Everybody butts in.
Piz, Jizz, Sean, and Jay.
Piz,
Why the fuck does?
well, because
Bunch of
Juan,
guys.
you're Jizz. I think
No.
this is well established. You're Jizz. You should have been swallowed or put in a napkin, thrown away. You're Jizz.
Don't use my own jokes on me. Don't you dare do that.
Don't
Don't
you dare use his one joke on him.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Jay.
Sorry.
So, Juan, I keep looking for more conspiracy theories because I think that's the ones that really hit home.
No,
for me.
this is not the X-Files. You're supposed to bring on fuck.
It's controversial. It's controversial conspiracy theories. Like, for example, Black Ariel. Nobody hates.
Is that a rapper?
No. Black Ariel is the Ariel. That's gonna be in the live action Disney.
Why are you laughing?
Yo, this Black Ariel.
Because Juan, your joke was the equivalent of Mr. Garrison going, "I'm sorry, I don't listen to rap music," after being asked what the Emancipation Proclamation was. That's why.
So,
It's Mr. Garrison.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. Anyway, Peter.
sure. The conspiracy theory behind Black Ariel, and just to give Juan a background, Black Ariel is,
Don't tell me we're going to talk about the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, let's talk about the Little Mermaid. Yes, the new Disney
back on this
live
shit.
action Disney Little Mermaid. Nobody is pissed off that Little Mermaid is black, and let me get into it. So when they announced that, what was her name? Something Berry. I don't want to say Halle Berry. That's the other lady.
Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I asked around, and I asked most of my Trumpy friends, and they're like, "Who cares? She could be black. She could be brown. She could be blue." And the conspiracy.
Isn't there a song that goes that way?
Something like that. You watch too much TikTok, my friend. I honestly
what I
think
meant.
Disney is pushing this whole entire, I would say, antagonizing storyline where someone is pissed off that Little Mermaid is black in order for them to make more money off of either bad press, good press, or whatever. It's like, what's the saying? Good.
No press is bad press.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty much what they're trying to push off here with trying to say that there are people out there who are upset. They can't even name who's actually upset out there. I don't even care if Little Mermaid is an Asian person or whatever. I don't care. Nobody cares. It's just Disney trying to sell tickets.
So all the people that you see on fucking social media writing shit off or being upset about it on social media. You're saying those are actors from the Walt Disney Company trying to instigate the mob mentality so Disney can be like, yes, no press is bad press. Come and see our movie. We need those buckets of money after Bob Chapek.
So it's more of planting the seed. So let's say I wasn't even thinking about it. Let me give you a good example. I wasn't really thinking about, let's say, the rain in California. And all of a sudden, they keep putting it on the news that the rain in California is causing X, Y, or Z. Then I'm just going to start making up all these assumptions about the rain causing this or that, and just being upset and constantly be thinking about that. And then I'll finally voice an opinion on social media talking about the rain when it doesn't really affect me.
Peter, if I'm understanding you correctly, it sounds like you're saying the internet in and of itself is fine with it. It's Disney who is doing this to create a false sense of I don't know, mystery, an argument around it because it's going to help them sell tickets.
Pretty much, I would say it's causing attention on purpose, whether it's good attention or bad attention, so that there's going to be people that be like, I totally support this, so I'm going to go out and watch this so I don't look like a racist. And it's like, me, I was never planning on watching that movie. But, like, for example, if I were one of those...
You're a big Disney person. You were not planning to watch it?
Well, I'll watch it if my kids throw it on. But I'm pretty much focusing on other things, like actually going to Disney. So again, I wasn't planning on watching it. But now that, like, I've seen so much about it, it's like, okay, let me go watch it. You know, it's like, it piqued my interest. Just like the whole Buzz Lightyear thing. Everyone made a big deal about the kiss. I watched it. I'm like, it's no big deal. Like, I think they're just trying to go out there, throwing out some stuff just so people can go watch their movies.
I'm sorry, Buzz Lightyear kissed somebody?
Right. No, not Buzz Lightyear, but there was a character that was of the
homosexual lesbian.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't just a kiss. They in one of the expanded realities or extended futures, they had a whole family, correct?
Yeah, they had a whole family, and it was just a welcome home kiss, and it wasn't like full on making out and like grabbing each other in weird ways. It was just a peck. Yeah, it was just a peck on the lips, and then they closed the door.
It was two women.
I thought that was ass grabbing.
Two women.
Okay, fine. They tickle some pastrami.
This is the hottest scene.
No, bro.
This is the hottest scene in the Buzz Lightyear movie.
Okay, well, but time out. Jay, you think he is right? You think Peter's right?
Absolutely. It's just like
No, come on. No. You were up in arms about fuck you. No, you can't say that he's right when a couple of months ago or a couple of episodes ago, you were like all up in arms about fuck this shit. Now you can't put on your fucking tinfoil hat and think it's big companies.
Juan, prove it. Prove it.
Jizz? Yeah, prove it.
Insert the audio now.
Prove it, Juan.
Don't use my fucking arguments against me.
I believe that he's correct, because it's just like when every time Batman gets recast, you know, people are up in arms about it, but really nobody gives a shit. Like, they just want to see a movie, but it's really to sell tickets.
I wasn't gonna watch Buzz Lightyear in the theater. I was like, opening weekend, I was there to go see it with my kids, and I'm like, okay, well, it's a kids movie, and I'm gonna use this as an excuse to take my kids to go watch it to see how bad of a thing that they're making it. And then I watched it, and I'm like, oh, all right, it's not really a big deal. And
holy fuck! Wait, you're talking about that new Buzz Lightyear movie?
Yes, the one you saw, Sean.
Which Buzz Lightyear movie were you talking about?
Here's the thing. I thought we were just talking about Toy Story. Like, we talking about Buzz Lightyear because, like,
no, he's talking about Lightyear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Lightyear.
This is not. This is not on topic at all. But I thought Lightyear was very underwhelming because it didn't make me want to buy a Buzz Lightyear toy. Andy's was so fucking erect for this Buzz Lightyear toy that you would have thought that like Buzz Lightyear was out there fucking doing every goddamn thing. He was basically James Bond of like fucking space people. But anyway.
You know what the saddest thing about this whole like situation, if it is true that Disney is fabricating an uproar over the casting of Ariel, is that's sad how that's the advertising strategy now, you know, like because there's so many like kids that are woke and they're interested in like controversy and we got to cancel these people and we got to, you know, and that's how they're selling tickets. That's insane.
Dude, so Juan,
definitely.
So I mean Juan's right. When we spoke about this on the episode, there was one guy who I found who said that Disney was doing this just to be disruptive for no other reason than just to make waves. Because why else cast a black Ariel? Why else like put out a trailer for a movie that didn't come out for like another 2 years? Why else do it? He has no other problem with the trailer. He doesn't care that she's black. Doesn't care that the movie takes place. Doesn't give a fuck about any of that shit. It's just that it's disruptive and makes it hard to enjoy. That's it.
You know, it'd be crazy if Sebastian, who played Sebastian, was Eminem.
That would be
cast Eminem as
Jamaican
Sebastian.
But he gets to keep the Jamaican accent.
No, he just plays Eminem.
I want him to say I want him to play Eminem. Like there's this guy on TikTok who does a really good Eminem impression. I want him to do that the entire fucking movie. That's what I want. But so Peter, you don't think that the internet, because the other thing is that, because we have talked about this on this show. Now, you don't think in any way that the internet in and of itself is using the anonymity of the internet to protect itself, right? Because there are people who have recolored the Little Mermaid trailer. Unless you're saying it's Disney, like this person works for Disney. They recolored the trailer to make Ariel look white. To make Halle Bailey look white. Halle Bailey?
Again, okay, nobody, going back to what I said, nobody cared until they made a huge uproar, right? So now that the uproar is there and it's in people's minds, then you have the people who are actually, think, it's living rent-free in their head. So now they're doing all these things where it's, whether it's good or bad, like coloring... Halle, you said Halle Bailey, right? That's your name? Halle Bailey white or whatever, is causing more uproar so that they could, again, sell more tickets. So other people are pretty much giving free marketing to Disney by either giving negative or positive reactions.
But Peter, I mean, I agree that it's a disruptive choice. But I think what I am having trouble wrapping my head around is you saying that like nobody cares. I think there's a very specific subset of people on the internet who care a lot about this, who are very vocal about it. And I don't think it's the majority, but I think that little minority that cares about it is very, very vocal. They are concerned about what this does for little redhead girls in their community. And by in their community, I mean in the white community. Who are they going to have to look up to if Ariel, this mermaid, isn't a white redhead girl? And I feel like that's a very real thing.
I figured the outlier is just pretty much the Karens. There are a bunch of Karens where you're Karen's walking down the street minding her own business, sees a black family barbecuing, all of a sudden her day is ruined. It's those.
That's a true story, isn't there? Like,
that's actually a true story. Like someone, I guess she's like, "Oh, you don't have a permit to barbecue," and it's like,
wasn't she claiming that she was a vegan and the air was not polluted with meat or shit like that?
No, that was another Karen where someone rented out an Airbnb. And just the fact that someone was barbecuing meat, she just had to get out of her house and start complaining and saying that it was affecting her because she's a vegan and all this nonsense. Again, when Karens are minding their own business, that's like the best time of having a Karen around. But if just one tiny thing, again, like having a black Ariel, is going to show all the outlier Karens coming out and just going and complaining about something, Let's say it wasn't even a black Ariel. The fact that Ariel was, let's say, Hermione from Harry Potter, they're gonna complain. You know, that's how Karens work. And those Karens are pretty much the outliers to the situation.
Hermione in the
black Ariel.
Hermione in the
Beauty and
the
Beast.
stage production of The Cursed Child was black, and nobody complained.
Hey, Juan,
I
can I
know
ask you a
of.
question? Hey, how does this matter to what we're talking about right now?
He brought up a good example that nobody. I just realized I helped him make his fucking point. That's Disney controlling it because Hermione was played by a black actress on the stage production of Cursed Child, and I don't recall anybody going up in arms about it. Probably because the hillbillies that would be up in arms about it don't go to the theater.
But you know, the people that are up in arms about it still doesn't disprove the fact that Disney may have planted this seed and started this advertising campaign. You know, where people started buying into it.
Yeah. I agree. Here's the thing, Juan and Jay. I agree. I think that Disney did this knowing it was going to be disruptive. I think they knew that. And I think
you guys, I don't understand why you guys like having these fucking conspiracies of big companies causing disruptions.
do you not
Only because it upsets you, Juan. That's why we bring it up all the time.
that, and because it distracts us from the things that are going on in the real world?
But
And
but
here
going
we go
back to the
back with that
Hermione
shit
thing,
again.
even funnier is that she did play Beauty and the Beast in the live action movie. I was upset because all I was seeing was Hermione and not Belle, and the whole time I was nudging my wife. I'm like, she's gonna say something Harry Potterish, or just something stupid. But it was really funny when I did see her on screen, and I wasn't even planning on seeing that movie again. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh wait, Hermione's gonna be Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Let's go watch this thing.
I think you're being brainwashed by Disney, and you don't even know it.
Well,
I don't doubt it at all.
yeah, Disney's been brainwashing people for decades.
Yeah, they believe that a mermaid has a race, bro. I think we hit the nail on the head over here. So Juan, when you say that he's being brainwashed, what do you mean?
I don't mean anything. Fuck you. you're no.
Fuck you, Sean.
Way to defend your point. Look, this is a disruptive choice that Disney made, and there has to be some executive there who.
No. You think you think it's a.
You mean to tell me
think.
that you mean to tell me that casting an African American Ariel is not a disruptive choice?
I don't think it was done on purpose. I think they casted her because she was the best actress for the role.
I'm not saying that she doesn't. I'm not saying she's undeserving. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in front of the person making the choice at Disney was a white person who met. They had their Merida without the accent, right? And then they had Halle Bailey, who had everything that person
What does
had.
Merida have to do with that?
Because she's white and redhead.
What
That's why. She's white and redhead. That's
Okay.
why. Merida
Okay.
without the accent. And then they had Halle Bailey,
Okay.
who had
I get the
every other
reference now.
qualification, right? The only difference is that she's African American. Do you not think they do this to be disruptive? To say, guys, we're going to be progressive and have an African American mermaid.
See, I don't think the disruptive part is necessarily saying we're gonna have a black mermaid or showing that they're gonna have a black mermaid. It's the fact that they keep pointing it out that she's a black mermaid. Because if you stop talking about race and all that stuff, it's just like, oh, it's a mermaid and that's an actress who's playing a mermaid. Great, okay. But, they're constantly pointing their finger and saying she's black and she's gonna be, taking over. And by the way, did you know that she's black? But I don't think I ever brought up that, by the way, she's black. Like, they just keep doing that. So now the only thing that's in people's head is she's black. And it's cool.
Peter,
I'm totally cool with her. being black, but that's what causes the disruption.
That's what they say too, Peter. They're totally cool with it. However, because she had not been a little white redhead girl.
She could, but I don't think it would sell as many tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, to your point, Jay, I think Disney's remakes.
You saying like they sold the tickets already? The movie hasn't even come out, so we don't even know if they're sold.
They sold the tickets as soon as that trailer came out. As soon as people saw,
you know what? Mark this fucking episode, Sean. Mark this fucking episode. In 2 years, when this fucking controversial movie comes out, I want to play it back, and either I will be eating my fucking words or Jay will be eating his fucking words. Because we're talking about it like this already sold tickets and it hasn't sold jack shit. Like,
well, first of all,
if Disney was truly behind it,
Disney Plus, it's going to Disney Plus.
Disney was truly,
it's going to Disney Plus, so you don't have to worry about tickets. We're talking about viewership.
You just got to pay $29.99 in advance to see it earlier than everybody else.
Yeah. So it's not about selling tickets; it's about selling subscriptions. Juan, and I think to your point, when this will be like the new Soul of Disney Plus, right? Like except they gave Soul away for free and nobody watched it. So at the end of the day,
I watched it. I thought it was a cute movie.
Oh, congratulations!
I was gonna watch it, and then I kind of continued living my life.
That's fair. God damn. Well, but the thing is, Juan, I think we can all agree, and maybe I'm the only outlier here, is that I don't think any of the Disney live action remakes have been good at all. Doesn't matter who's been cast in them because they just don't live up to
the Lion King did
the original source material.
That was awful.
Really?
Yeah, it was awful. I hated it.
Yeah, people hate the fucking Lion King.
What about the Jungle Book?
The Jungle Book was okay, but
even Cinderella was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't like a lot of them.
Yeah. And I think to Peter's point, this is a thing to get this movie's name in people's mouth so that they can end that streak, right? Because one of two people are going to show up to this. People who want to prove that this was a bad idea, and the other people who want to say, well, I watched it and it wasn't that bad.
It's the Floyd Mayweather theory. Whether you love him or hate him, you're gonna buy his fights because there's people that want to see him lose, and there's some people that want to see him win.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I mean,
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's kind of with every fighter.
I didn't know that was a thing. But
no, but I think with Mayweather, it's more hardcore because he hasn't lost.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and especially he has a big mouth, so that makes it worse.
Yeah, but he's also
I guess Disney has a big mouth. Go ahead.
He's not the type of fighter that he's a very defensive fighter, so it's kind of not exciting to watch sometimes.
He's not the old Mayweather.
I didn't realize Jay was such a big fucking boxing fan.
I mean, I saw him fight Pacquiao, and
that was horrible.
Of course,
yeah,
did.
it was. I don't know.
That was $100 lost that I can never get back.
Well, all this is over my head. So, Juan, I hope you keep this momentum into the gauntlet, because the fact of the matter is that I don't think you won this. I think Peter has a good point.
No,
yeah, no, Peter, you have a pretty good point. Maybe they just did this to be disruptive. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what the Karens.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna buy tickets 2 years from now to prove Juan wrong even more.
You're gonna pay $29.99 and not just wait 6 months? I'm gonna wait 6 months. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Hey man, it was like Lightyear. I just had to go see it, and when I saw it, I'm like, I wasted my money. And I'm gonna say the same thing all over again. I wasted my money.
Did you buy it
6 months later?
Did you buy Mulan?
No, I didn't. Did I buy Mulan?
I mean, not buy, but did you pay for early access to Mulan?
Only because my daughter wanted to see it. But other than that, I would have told her to wait 6 months.
I'm gonna pay the $30 just to spite Juan.
God Damn, Juan, you're the yeah, you're costing people real money over here. Well, Juan, keep that momentum into the gauntlet. Peter, thank you for coming on and pissing Juan off again this episode. It's always a pleasure to have you on. We'll see you in the next season. Peter, you have a good evening, sir.
Thank you. Disney made me do it.
Disney made me do it. Oh man, that's a good send off. Good send off. All right, Peter, have a good night. I'll play you guys out.
Good night.
And that was Does Not Compute.
All right. Well, Juan, I hope you
And
aren't
Jiz.
too angry. I hope you aren't too angry because now it's time for the gauntlet. Now it's time. Are you ready for the gauntlet, Juan?
Yeah, but I still stand by the fucking point that you don't need to participate. You won. This is just between Jay and I, motherfucker.
Yeah, but I want to participate.
Yeah, let him participate.
Yeah, waste the fucking songs. Go.
Well, I don't go first. Well, I go last.
You can go in.
And-
I ain't going in. So right now we flip a fucking coin to see who goes first because Jay and I are tied, right?
No, you're not tied. You are in second place right now. Jay's in last.
Oh, then so why did I argue so much that we should do it this season? Fuck it, let's just do it. Fuck.
Because you're being you weren't listening.
Shut the fuck up.
But anyway,
Let Jay go first now.
right. So for those keeping along
the
at
fuck
home,
up. It doesn't matter. You won. I'm second place right now, and Jay's what place is
so
he?
Juan, I have 52 points. I'm in the lead.
No, 52. Okay.
Juan, you're in second place with 37.5 points because that 1 week when I made up the rules and we split points. Remember
So
that?
you do admit it that you made up the fucking rules. You do admit
yes,
it.
because we were in a unique situation. We're in a unique situation.
Then I say
we're-
because this time is a unique situation, our points double.
Sure. Why not? Make it interesting.
Yeah. Double points.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And then Jay is in last place with 32.5 points. Last episode, Juan. Last episode, you and Jay were tied, right? And you won right before Jay got the pity fuck. So if you want to play the game where all the points are doubled, that means that the 1 second's worth 10 points.
And we get pity fuck too.
Well, yeah, with the least amount of points. The least amount of points.
Yeah, but
So-
I still get an opportunity to steal the pity fuck when he misses it.
So the 1 second's worth 5 points, worth 10 points now. 3 seconds is worth
Yeah.
6 points.
Yes.
And the 5 seconds is worth 2 points.
Yes.
All right. I mean, as Jay has mentioned before, the game is bullshit. So
In that case, let's triple it, motherfucker.
Let's do it. So Jay, that does mean that you get to go first because you are in last place. And remember, these counts for doubles because Juan says, fuck it, who cares?
Triple.
Triple points. I mean, we can do a sudden death round if you want. No, I'm kidding. Let's see here. No. All right. We have track number 17 to start, and there's gaps in between, but the last one you can choose from is track number 56.
17.
The hell of a jam, Preston. Juan.
17, guys.
I'll do 17. 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
17,
Dude, wow,
17
you're
for
not
5
thinking-
seconds?
Yeah.
I mean, one second.
Oh.
17 for 1 second. Here we go. You can listen again or you can extend the length.
Take the little blue pill, Jay.
What does that mean?
Can I hear it one more time?
Yeah, here it is. But if you hear it one more time, then you're locked in. Here we go. I got nothing on this one.
Oh,
I got nothing on this one.
Hill Street Blues.
Juan, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. I think it's the Main Street Electrical Parade live on Channel 7.
Okay. I don't know what this is.
Wait. Can I change my answer?
No.
Sure.
Law and Order?
Okay. I disagree.
He got it. He fucking got it.
I think it was your first answer, but I don't remember what that was. Hill Street Blues. All right, here we go. And the answer is The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh, what?
Here's the 5 seconds. Here's the thing, man. This unlocks this like memory of me being a little kid, being up late at TV right before TV ended. Like I feel like that's when this show would have been on. I would have been able to watch it.
What, on Nick at Night?
No, just on regular fucking TV. Like I didn't have cable till I was much older.
You know how old the Mary Tyler Moore show is?
Does it not fit does it not fit within the boundaries that the Gauntlet Master General said that it would fit?
That show came out in like the 60s or 70s.
Dude, we were sperms in our daddy's nutsack.
No, but like, would it not have been like replaying on network television?
Oh, yeah. They would have been playing on Nick at Night.
No.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember seeing it, but it was like
Nick
late
at Night.
at
But
night.
before
Yeah.
like Nick at Night was a thing, like I feel like I could have watched this on like Channel 2.
I don't
like 11,
remember
yeah.
a time where Nick at Night wasn't a thing.
Really? Shit. Nick at Night for me wasn't a thing until I was well into my like early adulthood.
I
Anyway.
do remember that without cable, fucking TV ended. Remember that shit,
Yeah,
dude?
that's what I just said. Thank you for listening to me, Juan. I appreciate that. With that said, Juan, that makes it your fucking turn. Okay, Juan, it's your turn. You have track 18 through 56.
19.
Track 19 for how long?
1 second.
For 1 second. I know this one, but you want to listen again, Juan?
3 seconds.
So weak. You're so weak, Juan. You're so weak. You want to try 1 second? I mean,
3 seconds.
Here it is, 3 seconds.
2.5 men. And I feel like we did it as well.
I don't think so.
Okay, then give me my 6 points plus.
All right, Juan, so you earned yourself 6 whole points.
You fucking thievy motherfucker. Next time I won't sing the fucking song. Man.
You,
Oh, he Googled it. Yeah, 2.5 men.
Are you really going to? Okay. What a lying sack of shit. What a lying
Prove
sack of
it.
shit. All right, well, Juan, congratulations on earning yourself 6 whole points.
You would like to do number 55?
I would like to do number 55.
Yes,
Yeah.
tradition.
That's the one I want to do. Here we go. Number 55.
1 second.
I'm going to
Be a man. Half a second, motherfucker.
I mean, if I could, I would, Juan, just to teach you a lesson. All right, track number 55 for 1 second. Here it is. Need to listen again. Oh, this is
You played
Scrub.
it. No, you cheated. You didn't play the same exact portion. You
I
just
did.
continued playing it. No.
I played the exact same thing. I can play it again.
Yeah, play it again.
I mean, but
Now who's a cheater?
I'm not cheating. I tap play. I play what anyway. I'm ready to make an answer to make my decision. I believe that this is Scrubs. Do you agree or disagree, Juan?
I agree.
I agree. I don't even know.
There it is. All right. And the answer is Scrubs. This is Scrubs. So fuck you, Juan. Yeah. Fuck you very much. Okay. It is now time,
Pity fuck time.
for the pity fuck. Now here's the deal. Even if we're doing double points and you get this one at 1 second, Juan still beats you by half a point because you're still at 32.5 points and Juan's at 43 points. So
I say we still do it. So he has the honor of not losing poorly.
well, if I'm being honest with you, I feel like he let us win, but that's just me. That's just me. I feel like he's holding back. Juan, I mean, if you want to, do you want to make it interesting?
How?
Let's say that he gets the next one that you guys tie, and then you guys have a showdown for whichever one for who wins second place.
A sudden death?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I mean, it's half a point. We can do this.
Just fucking do it, asshole. I said already. You don't have to sell me on it. I already bought your fucking Girl Scout cookies. Just fucking do it.
It is that season.
Yeah, bitch.
It is that season. Hey, do you need a dealer? Because I got a new dealer. Because my dealer retired.
Oh, well, we'll talk off after the show's over.
Yeah.
All right. So, Jay, this is typically.
But in all seriousness, guys, support the Girl Scouts. They have delicious cookies.
All right, so Jay, now it's come time for the pity fuck, as Juan likes to call it. But I think we just sold him on the idea of doing a sudden death showdown. So whoever wins this next round between the two of you, and if you guys both get it, then we'll just keep going until somebody loses. We'll win.
You're giving us too much fucking credit, or you're giving me too much credit. So just go.
Okay. So Jay, which number would you like to do for 1 second?
What number is available?
We have 21 through 54, and there's gaps in between. So we have numbers kind of spread out through there.
54.
All right, 54 for 1 second, and here it is.
Oh motherfucker! Really? No, fuck you! The fucking monsters.
That's the monsters.
No, that's not cool. That.
Well, look at that. It
you.
is the monsters. It is the monsters.
You fucking rigged this.
I didn't. How could I have rigged it? How? It wasn't like I was Googling in the middle of trying to answer it.
Okay.
Okay. So now, Juan, you have to get the next one right in order to remain in second place. So you ready?
Yeah.
What number do you want to do?
What numbers do I have?
You have 53 to 21.
21.
Here it is. 21 for 1 second. Here it is.
Can I hear it again?
Here it is.
The A team.
Is it the A team? Doesn't matter if you agree or disagree, Jay. But
I agree.
it's the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
Is it?
Till the one day when the lady met this fellow.
It wasn't the beginning of the Brady Bunch song. It was in the middle of it.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Would you have gotten it from there, Juan?
No.
Well, Juan, how does that make you feel?
Great.
Does it? It sounds like you feel like shit.
No, I don't care.
Okay, thanks, man. Thanks.
Like Jay said, it doesn't matter.
If you were in first place, it would matter. If you were in first place, it would matter.
Well, this is the first time you fucking win, Sean.
That's not true. This is like the third gauntlet in a row that I've won.
Really?
Yeah, for a long time, I didn't win any gauntlets. It was you fuckers. And now I'm unstoppable. But with that said, Juan, if I'm being fair, you did end the gauntlet with 43 points. Jay ended it with 42.5 points with a come from behind win in sudden death. And I ended the gauntlet with 62 points. 62 points. So thank you, Ozzy, our Gauntlet Master General, for putting that together. I thought it was really fun. And it just showed me that I watched entirely too much TV. Because the fact that I can get some of those in 1 second is kind of sad.
Yeah, you need to go outside, Sean.
The sun hurts. The sun hurts. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Juan, I'm sorry you felt like we made up rules. We literally had the exact same rules from beginning to end.
I think the next gauntlet should be video game music.
Oh, video game music?
I can't do that.
Why not?
I'll lose.
You don't know that.
Video game music and maybe old commercials.
I can maybe do that. Yeah.
Video game music and old commercials. That would be video game music. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. But anyway, Juan, are you done? Did you finish this season? Are we finished yet? Are you done?
I'm sorry. I'm still devastated that you guys cheated and stole away the points from me because.
Sean, I'm done.
Thank you. I'm done. Thank you, Jay. I'm glad that you're done.
No, fuck you. He stole the monsters from me.
He didn't steal anything from you. It was his fucking turn. It was his fucking turn. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I'll see you guys next season. As always, we'll have some reviews and stuff kind of sprinkled in between. And also, we're not going to miss the opportunity for Juan to eat that dick. So stay tuned. Check your podcast inboxes because we will be back. And with that said, Juan, you can stumble on the outro.
Hey guys, if you agree with me and you believe that Sean and Jay colluded and cheated me out of a victory of second place, you could go ahead and
I can ask you one question to prove that you never watched Growing Pains.
Yeah, go ahead. You know what? Don't forget to rate and review
As I suspected.
and review us on iTunes. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at INCYCSHOW, or email us some of your suggestions and comments at INCYCShow@gmail.com, or leave us a voicemail in the link in the show notes, or just go directly to www.anchor.fm/INCYCShow. And don't forget, Sean's mom. We have merch in partnership with LindaMyra.com. Get your very own I'm Not Crying, You're Crying shirt. Just follow the link in the show notes. And fuck you, cheaters.
I'm still going to ask this question.
Goodbye, guys. I'm hitting the dusty trail.
What was the name of Mike Seaver's best friend?
I don't fucking remember, dude. You were what, a teenager when that show came out? I was fucking, what, 6, 7?
And
I
you can
actually
name that
watched
theme
it.
song in 1 second? Come on.
Yeah, dude. It took me a while and I had to sing it in
Sing, type, whatever.
Because anybody who's ever watched that show knows the name of his best
what
friend.
is it? Is it Sean?
His name
John?
was his name.
Sean.
His name
Sean?
was Boner.
Mike Boner.
His name was Boner.
Mike-
His name was Richard Stabone, and they called him Boner.
Yeah,
Look at that. Yeah, I would never know. I never watched that show.
I did.
Never. Did you?
Yeah, no, I actually did.
Yeah, man, you're looking like a large sack of shit right now.
No, I
But
actually fucking watched it. It was one of my favorite shows.
I can tell from
And
the
how do you not know the name of his best friend? It was called Boner.
Because I was a fucking kid. It's not one of those that kept on running in reruns. I just remember seeing
What?
and seeing.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
you know
it
what?
did.
No, fuck you. Not like something like that one and
Well,
Family Tie. No, not Family Tie. Which one's the one with yeah, well, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no. Fuck you. You lost.
Yeah,
You
fuck-
lost, and you deserved
Fuck us. Fuck us.
it.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night. Ah.